And when we're talking about technologies like the stuff that's, the Tron Foundation, I think that it's definitely important to talk about the issue of decentralization and how in the game of social media and really the contest that's taking place right now, at the center of these things, it's technology. It's definitely going to be the issue of the rapidly developing side of these companies that are leveraging decentralized applications, and the fact that Tron's building on this platform, basically this philosophy. I think that this is going to be really big as far as the conversation that we've been seeing revolving around this technology and the as far as Tron goes. Definitely excited to be seeing how on this on an international scale, Tron's poised to really assert itself in a big way as far as these things go, and when we move forward into the next year and so forth. I think right now we're seeing the rudiments of the building of a sleeping giant, essentially, and that would be I would say in a large sense thanks to Justin Sun. And let's not forget that it's definitely a big variable in the works, I'd say, playing in Tron's favor when you take into consideration the fact that Justin Sun has something in common with a lot of prominent social media figures that have success lately, and that's the fact that he really is active on Twitter, vocalizing his every thought, as it seems, which is, I mean, as it stands, unheard of, in a big advantage, I'd say, as far as getting Tron that publicity. I think that the fact that Justin Sun is a celebrity in the sense that he's managed to develop his own personal brand is something to be said. He's one. I mean, these accounts, this 500,000. That's nothing to. It's funny to see, essentially, because this is huge as far as the Tron community goes, and it's going to be community at the end of the day that's going to be a huge determining factor for realistically for the cryptos that are able to build up a presence on these various different social media platforms, and I think that Tron's definitely connected at the hip with the development that we'll definitely be seeing happening across the board. And this was an interesting tweet right here. They're excited to have CEO Justin Sun at SF office to wrap up Q4 and begin planning roadmap KPIs for Q1 of 2019. So details early journey Tron, and the quote-unquote motivation for starting the project, and his goal in the future of BitTorrent and TRX. And I think that these BitTorrent, and we're starting to see it blend quite nicely, but it is interesting to see. I mean, BitTorrent only has 44,000 followers, so I think it's pretty big for BitTorrent to be getting together with Tron just as much as it's a big deal for Tron to be getting together with BitTorrent, and I think that as that sort of side-by-side partnership goes, people have been well aware of BitTorrent. I think it's sort of a household name for people who are in that sort of been using the internet for a long amount of time, and then Tron is sort of a newish figure. I mean, in the world of crypto, I'd say Tron does have that, is well established, that whole branding aspect of it with all that free publicity that it's able to get. But another interesting tweet, in order to bring awareness to how blockchain technology can be used for social media, and good, Tron shows support to Binance BCF through large donation. The crypto sectors are starting to change the way charity operates, and it's interesting to see Tron throwing its weight around, and I think that this is definitely ties in very nicely to what we were saying about Tron and how they've been really building that brand. And that brand is definitely going to be big as far as how these technologies develop and move forward. And I think that Justin Sun's definitely right in the middle of it. And I think looking at the founder, looking at what's happening with the team, and paying attention to the different developments, Tron exceeds 1 million transactions a day, surpasses Bitcoin. This is an interesting tweet as well. I think that I mean, it is interesting to see what's happening with Tron, and how the technologies of the future have been building. It is sort of a slow burn. I mean, it does take quite a while for these things to really get into place. And also, in the spirit of giving shout outs and sharing different opinions, I'm actually going to be including a link to this video right here by Crypto Tone. I think this is definitely a good video, definitely relevant to the things that we've been talking about in this video, and I think that it definitely plays into the theme of what we can be expecting in terms of the regulations and so forth, and really the marketing and how it could be paying off for Tron. And definitely something important to be bringing up at this point would be the failure that is Facebook. I mean, we definitely have been seeing a lot of big numbers that aren't looking very good for Facebook, but I think that when we see a decline of a huge social media, realistically it's a huge mark of a paradigm shift that could be huge news for Tron, and a big opportunity, as it is the opening up of a vacuum that could be big for crypto, especially one that seeks to do what Tron's seeking to do. And some upward mobility, some real good signs, good things happening with the market cap at 219 now. Obviously in the grand context of this is no great amazing event, but then again, I always like to think about the fact that right now we're looking at November 7th. And of course, last year on November 7th, we were looking at this was sort of the time historically of the rudiments of the largest bull run that we've ever seen in cryptocurrency history. So it's interesting if we see the market continue to move sideways the same way that it has been. At this time next year, they'll be remembering sort of this uneventful time period, but then again, I'm sure that there's people who are, seeing ways to benefit off of cryptocurrency in all sorts of different ways that there's no point in going into detail, because that's a subject for an entirely different video. But definitely interesting to see what's been happening with Tron in that number 11 ranking position, especially in the context of this market, Bitcoin dominance being what it is at 51.6%. But yeah, some definitely interesting things happening as these news developments continue to come to the forefront. And now that we have a better grasp on basically the political situation in the United States, it'll help us understand how this conversation about regulations and a lot of these different variables that are going to be overlapping with the development of the internet, and how we see these different things as far as social media and a quote-unquote accountability, and all these different variables that are definitely overlapping and culminating with the conversation that's happening in the public space right now. So it's definitely an interesting the mark of the paradigm shift that we always talk about on here, that cryptocurrency is in the center of. But if you guys are interested, make sure that you comment down below and let us know what you think, so that we can work together and have a conversation, share different opinions. Of course, make sure that you follow us on Twitter. That's at CryptoTuber. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Remember, this is just my opinion. You know, obviously this isn't advice or anything like that. This video is just for educational, entertainment purposes only. But yeah, you know, remember, I'm not your dad. But yeah, my opinions about Tron is fairly positive. I definitely say that we could be expecting to be seeing some really exciting things happening with Tron, in particular when we talk about a lot of the variables, especially the ones that we brought up in this video. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good video. And also make sure that you subscribe and put on post notifications to help this channel, you know, boost up in the Google algorithm and stuff, so we could spread awareness about Tron, and really help the community grow, and share different perspectives and all that stuff. So yeah, without any further ado, hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, have a good one.